All right, welcome to the Two Men with Mike's podcast. As usual, I am your host, Bobby Joe, and along with me is
CJ the bald-headed DJ.
the CJ, the bald-headed DJ. I got you.
No, I'm not. I am bald-headed, but I'm not DJ.
So what's going on? I know you saw that. I know you posted about it on Facebook about the Packers playing.
I'm gonna need you to say world champion.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
World champ. And Aaron, he's a bad man, Rogers. So
hey, the guy said that you guys are tripping over one game, and he came out and proved that.
He was right. He's right though. When he said it, I was like, yeah, he's right. It's just one game.
Yeah. Everybody's acting like it was the end of the world, and I literally was okay. That's game, one game, and you're tripping about one game. People, all the rest of these teams are going to lose at least one game. That's going to be a guarantee, almost.
Right.
Somebody might get an undefeated season, but I can guarantee they get an undefeated season, they will not win the Super Bowl. Probably won't even make it to Super Bowl.
Well, then they have that extra game this season, so exactly. It's 17 games. So yeah, it's kind of reminds me. That season when he said, RELAX, relax.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Kind of the same thing. But yeah, they won convincingly last night, and I have a bit of a confession. I didn't know if the game looked like it was going to kind of be close, and then it kind of started pulling away. I was watching the Titans. I was switching back and forth. I'm hooked on. I'm so late on shows, so I was watching Titans, which is really good on HBO Max.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah, check it out. You should check it out. It's pretty good. It's one of the few DC. I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. I'm probably gonna watch some episodes tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's the young superheroes. I think.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's like Robin and. I think there's supposed to be like a Superman clone in season 2. I don't want to give too much away, but that's what my brother was telling me.
Okay. So I might have to check it out. I'm binge watching stuff. Not binge watching. I have a few things I do watch.
Right.
Some of them I won't say because they're girl shows. But
hey, you can go ahead and talk about them. I'm a girlfriend's guy. Because of my celebrity crush Tracee Ellis Ross, but I haven't broke this to Facebook or the world yet that Ava DuVernay is slowly creeping up. It's like Tracy is one, and then Ava is one DuVernay as far as my top celebrity crushes.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you mine. Mine are always been Nia Long and Sanaa Lathan. Sanaa Lathan is my backup.
Well, give me so if you had give me 5. Like if you had give me your top 5 celebrity crushes.
That's a hard one. I started actually liking Tracee Ellis Ross after you said something. I started going and looking at her, and it's like, you know what? This mug is actually pretty. She's fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I never noticed it until you would say stuff about her. Man, I'll give that maybe 3. Other than that, man, I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm like a buffet eater, man. It's just I gotta have it all. So I don't. It's hard to pick a one other than my 2. Those are my top 2. Nia Long. I know she's getting a little age on her, but
okay.
Nia Long, and I always said that Sanaa Lathan is my backup crush, TV crush or girlfriend a lot of times. But
okay.
Other than that, now of course I'll take Tracee Ellis Ross. But past that, I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you.
Well, I'm gonna tell you mine. I'm gonna go with, of course, in no particular order. Tracee Ellis Ross, Ava DuVernay, Candace Parker, but I do feel kind of bad looking at her because I think I'm old enough to be her father, maybe, and Layla Ali.
Oh my goodness, I don't know.
Yeah.
The boxer's daughter.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No. What?
No. I mean, don't get me wrong. She's nice looking, but I don't know.
And I got to give you my CNN news boo. I hate using that word, but Frederica Whitfield.
I was gonna say yeah.
An honorable mention, Laura Coates.
I would tell you one of my. I used to have the craziest crush on her. She's not. I don't know what it was, but I think she reminded me of one of my old girlfriends. It's Chanel off the Today Show. I think you got to go back and look at it. Yeah.
I don't remember who that is. Is that way? That's way back, or
No, she's now. Her
She's
name's
now.
Chanel. I can't even think of her
I'm
last
gonna
name
have to.
anymore.
I'm gonna have to. I'm
I
gonna have
got
to
pissed
Google
off when I
her.
found out she married an African guy too.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. But I looked up his whatever, and he's a pretty successful guy.
Uh huh.
Chanel Jones. Chanel Jones. I think I'm gonna say Chanel Jones.
Chanel Jones. You might
That's
have
the
to
Today
send me.
Show.
Okay, Today Show. Okay, I'm gonna have to look her up then.
It's not much. It's not much. I just like. I don't know why. I think because she has that look that where you can take her home to the family.
Hmm.
You know, it's not too cute. Not too. You know that. I don't know that look that you could take her home. You know.
Okay.
I can explain it, but I used to have the
Well,
biggest crush on her.
I'm gonna give you my blast from the past though. Is Sherry Carter? Did you ever watch Video Soul with
Yeah.
Donnie Simpson and Sherry
Yeah.
Carter?
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's back
That
in the day, there, bro.
yeah, that one too. And this one, and this is my people look at me crazy when I say this, and then we can move on. But Sheree Whitfield from uh the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Yeah, when they first came out, I
Yeah,
actually liked her too. I was like,
yeah, yeah,
she was
yeah,
alright. A little
yeah,
cuckoo, but
yeah.
not much of a cuckoo. She was much of a liar. I think it was. She lied a lot, and it started turning me off. I'm like, this mother lies so much here. Golly.
Right.
So they let you know I was watching that show back in the day.
Speaking of women, so I wanted to get into our questions. We've got two, and the first one is from Tiffany in Johns Creek.
I
So
love the
this
viewers'
one,
questions.
yeah, I do too. This one was kind of threw me off a minute for a little bit when she asked, but she wants to know. Tiffany wants to know, uh, men who have small penises. Why do you not go ahead and let the woman know beforehand and and had let them discover it on their own and be disappointed? Why not just tell them up front that you had like, and by small she means 5 inches or less. Why do you guys wait for her to find out as opposed to just telling her?
Why? I mean, I'm gonna come at this a couple of ways actually. Why? So if that's the case, then why not tell a man you have dry vagina? Because
Right.
it's
Yeah.
out there and women never say it. Some of
Right.
them you say, "Oh, I got great vagina. This is the
Right.
bomb," and you get into it. It's dried in sandpaper,
Right.
but that's not put out there out front. So it's the same reason why the women don't put it out there in the front. May not. It's the same reason why men may not disclosure that.
Right.
And at the same time, 5 inches may be bad to you, but great to the next person. You
That's
know,
right. It's not the size of the wand, the magic it
exactly.
performs.
There's a exactly. It's just the magic in the wand that matters. You know,
Right.
so you may say, it's only 5 inches. That's terrible. What I'm gonna do with that, which kind of brings me back to my point in a minute. But you say, oh, that's terrible. What I'm gonna do with 5 inches? 5 inches can't satisfy me. Blah blah blah. Well, they could look at it as you can't get satisfied with 5 inches, then that means you got a hot dog in the hallway, which means your vagina might just be a little expanded. You know,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
there's, you might have a very big vagina and or a deep vagina that hey, 5 inches don't do nothing. So we might need to check the mileage on your vagina.
Right. Right.
And I know I sound a little defensive. I guess coming from a man's point, but you know, I think because what it is, literally there was probably a couple of weeks ago there was a young lady that was talking about how she had great vagina,
Right.
and I'm like, women say that all the time. Just because you say it don't make it true, and it's terrible. And I'm kind of jumping off the whole 5 inches, but
No. No. Go ahead. Go
um,
ahead.
what I'm just getting at is you can say, oh, 5 inches, but the next lady may enjoy it. I
Right.
can guarantee there's a ton of men 5 inches or less that are married right now. You
Oh
know,
yeah. Yeah.
so somebody's liking it. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean that the next person doesn't like it, nor does it mean that he has to disclose that. Because what happens in the sheets doesn't have to be predetermined.
Right.
So if the guy does come along with 5 inches, he doesn't really have to say anything because once you get in the bed, then either you're gonna like it or you're not gonna like it. You're gonna move on or you're gonna stay. End of the day, you know. It's just that cut and dry. You don't have to. I mean, what did she want him to say on the first day? Hey, order some steak, get some lobster. Oh yeah, guess what? I got 5 inches. You
Right,
know,
right.
when does
Well,
that conversation come up?
right. I think too. Men, I don't know. I honestly think maybe we're not thinking about that. Like we don't care. We're just excited to get it, or if we think we're gonna get some, we're not thinking about, oh well, my dick is small,
Hmm.
or I only got 4 inches or whatever. Maybe I should tell her first. No, I think we're thinking about we're gonna get some ass.
Hmm.
This woman is actually gonna let us sleep with her. So we're not thinking about that. It's like we'll deal with that later. Kind of like along the lines of men or like may not disclose they have a woman, a girlfriend, a wife, fiance, whatever. We'll worry about it later. I just don't think we care enough to because if we tell her up front, she may be like, well, I'm not gonna I'm not doing this. But if we're there in that moment, she may just go with it, be like, oh well, he sprung this on me. I'm surprised, but he's thinking, well, I'm still gonna get some. That's that. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking because we're just not we don't care. We're just not thinking about it.
Yeah, and here's another thing though. Like
Mm-hmm.
even if a guy says something like that to a young lady that he just met, then them, and he said it to all the women because since let's just say this one lady make a big deal about it.
Right.
Let's just say in a scenario this happened, she made a big deal about it. Why you didn't tell me you had a 5 inch penis, right?
Right.
So after that point, let's say she gave him a complex. So he started meeting other ladies on those first dates. He brings up the subject. Hey, and you know what? I have a 5 inch penis. Those ladies may think, oh, you just want sex, or it's all about
Right.
the sex. It's everything about our relationship right now is about sex. So you just trying to have sex, blah blah blah, or whatever. I'm not, then that may deter that relationship, which probably could have been a good relationship,
Right.
you
Right.
know. And like I said, when does the conversation actually come up? When is it supposed to come up? That is not a something that you would say in a conversation. So if he has to disclose he has a 5 inch penis, do I need to disclose I got like a 9.8 penis?
Right.
So next time I go on a date, I'm like, hey, you know what, girl? I'm just letting you know I have 9.8 inches of a penis. Like, I'm just letting you know right now before we leave this restaurant or bar, since we have to disclose these things.
Now that might run some women off from what I see in
I'm just
these
saying.
Facebook groups.
Oh,
From what I'm seeing, that some of the women are like, nah, one time and I'm done. I can't handle that,
man.
and I got to send him on his way because I can't do this. It's too big.
I would
So
say it's just how you it's about the insertion of it.
how you work it, or some people don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, you just gotta insert it. But like I said, I mean, all this, and to be honest, that's not a conversation to be had.
Right,
I don't think so. Okay, you do have a small penis. Just like I said, ladies have dry vaginas, but they're not going to disclose that. Even
right,
though they know it, women have a little bit larger vagina than others. They're not going to disclose that.
right.
Some women, I hate to even say this, but I've been with a lady that had a little certain smell, and she didn't, and she knew she had a little slight smell. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, what's
Oh, and
going
she
on?
didn't tell you? Oh,
Yeah, and she knew,
right.
so just you probably take that one out, but so
Yeah.
so
Right,
when are you gonna make the date about sexual, or if that's what you want, then maybe you need to disclose. I'm all about the sex. I needed to make know that the penis is bigger than that than five.
right,
Um, to be happy, I guess, in your life, or to be
right,
happy in that relationship. I think that's on that lady, and then he can be like, well, hey, I got five or less, or I have five or more, or but I'm a good guy.
right,
Just you can't really be angry or base a lot of substance on that.
right.
You know.
Well, I mean, and then maybe I should have asked a follow up question. Maybe she's talking about later on down the line as the relationship. I'm gonna go back to her and ask her to clarify and then maybe we could revisit it at another date, later date. Because I didn't even think about that. Is it like up front or like
Yeah,
later on? You
yeah,
know, so
yeah.
so that'll be something we'll have to we'll have a follow up. But we do have another question, and this is from Monique Ackworth, Georgia. She wants to know, why do men, you date a woman, you're dating all these years, no intention of marrying her, you guys break up, then this man ends up with another woman, and then they're married maybe 6 months to a year later. Why do men date one woman, no intention of marrying her for years, and then ends up with another woman and marrying her?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, and I think we covered this in our podcast, the Glass Tip Chronicles. They were one
Right.
of those podcasts. I think I got a lot of flack, even from you. You gave me flack on this answer.
I did.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if I. You
Pretty much
sure?
all
Well, I
you
have
guys
to.
ganged up. All three of you guys ganged up on me, but I know that I am right within my answer.
For
Two part.
our new audience, yeah, tell us what you said in the.
It was a two part. What I said was, subconsciously or consciously, that first relationship, it was not required to be married. As in, the lady didn't
She
require
didn't
it.
require it. Okay.
She didn't require it, nor did the guy. So she's not requiring it, and she's just letting, let's say, letting him get the milk, the cow in the milk.
Yeah.
There's no need, there's no need to get married. There's no requirement. There's no set standards or steps placed in that relationship for marriage. Now, she knew she wanted to be married. The question would be, so why did you waste all your time with this person if he never did, you know, ask to marry you, or even say anything to you about marriage? So you set yourself up, because just say let's say they've been together 8, 9 years. You set yourself up in that situation because you let it go on for 8 to 9 years.
True.
You know.
Okay.
So, and if I'm driving your car every day and you never require me to put gas in your car, am I ever gonna put gas in there? I'm just gonna keep driving it because you're always filling it up, right?
Right. Right.
So there was no requirement for me at that point.
Hmm.
So, and then on in another hand, that man probably got into that next relationship, seen more, wanted more from that lady, which was it wanted more. Let's say not more from, but wanted more for her,
Hmm.
and maybe even seen that this lady really want to be married. She liked me. She does this,
Right.
does that, A to Z. Then he marries her, but that still falls back on requiring.
Right.
And women do have a big say so in a lot of relationships. You know, that men, we pretend like we the big dog, the alpha, this and that and the other, we're the heads, but them women still have a say so. When I say subconsciously, and half the time we may not even know it, or we don't see it if we're too alpha-ish. Um, so like I said, it's just more of that whole requirement.
Right. Okay. Well, what would you say to the people, like going back to, well, she doesn't require it. What would you say if people said, well, he should be man enough to admit that he doesn't see a future with this woman and just move on?
I'm just gonna say, who's to say he didn't say,
Right.
look, I'm not trying to marry you. I know dudes been in relationships that even told the women that he wasn't gonna marry him,
Right.
and then he got married later to somebody else. But let's just say, you say we push that under, like, that's not there. Say she says, uh, say that again, because I want to get your wording right.
No. So if they, what do you say to people who say, well, what, he could have been man enough to say, I'm not, I don't see a future with us. I'm not going to marry you, and just end the relationship and move on,
I
as
mean,
as opposed to putting it all on the woman.
it's
You
it's
know.
still it's still that requirement part right there. It's
Right.
it doesn't go. It does. It goes. I'll say this. Some of it goes on him being, let's just say, being man enough.
Hmm.
But at the same time, relationships are still 50-50. Everything that goes into them.
Right.
She is still not woman enough to walk away.
Okay.
Even though he never
After she
said it.
sees the signs.
Yeah, she see all the signs are always there. Every
Hmm.
sign that everything in relationship is there. And if you really love your partner, you know every sign, you see every sign.
Right.
You really love your partner, you can tell what they doing, what they going through. You know, you can see everything,
Right.
right? Because we watch each other. You know, I've been in relationships. I've known a person for a month or two, and I see things, and I'm like, oh, you know, and I always tell them like, hey, look, hey, this and that and the other.
Right.
But it's 50-50. She knows he's not trying, but she keeps holding out, waiting, and hoping things are going to change, and that's where they mess up. That's
Right.
where the entanglement happens. You know, you get entangled in something that you thinking is going to change, and it's not going to change because you're still sitting back, hoping and wishing instead of requiring. You
Right.
know, and you're too afraid to walk away because somebody don't require. I mean, you know, require that. So that's
Right.
why, you know, I think that's why I say it's 50-50. I'm not putting it on just the lady, but the man as well.
Hmm.
But she has to be, sometimes that if one person in that relationship isn't leading, then the other one needs to lead.
Right.
Now, and if that other person don't want to go along with that lead or meet halfway with that give and take situation, then you know that may not be the situation you need to be in. You know,
Right.
and don't go back and complain because you sat there when you knew what was going on. You know.
Right. Well, I mean, I think too. I think a lot of times with some men, it's timing. Like he may not be, you know, ready to be married, or that may just not be the woman that he sees as his wife or a future with. Because what they say, a man chooses his wife or whatever. But I think he may not be ready, or you know, he's like, yeah, I don't, this is somebody great to kick it with, and 4, 5, 6 years have gone by, and nothing has happened. I'm saying that to say I think it's on both sides. So he probably sees it and he hadn't said anything, but then eventually she wises up and says, "Look, this is over. You're obviously not going to marry me, so I got to end it." And then he eventually gets with someone. He's like, "Oh, I can see myself with this woman." Or he's to the point where he's older and he's thinking, I'm gonna need somebody to take care of my ass when I get really old and not be able to feed myself or wipe my own ass or whatever. So I mean, I think it's maybe a combination of those things. But yeah, but you know, I agree. You know, if you allow certain things and not just put it all on her, uh, then of course he's going to continue doing that. And I get it. You may want to think the relationship is going to change, or he's going to come around and he's going to do this, and he's going to show me he loves me by putting a ring on my finger and this and that. And then that day never comes, and you're just thinking to yourself, "I wasted all this time." And then I can understand it's probably hurtful. And then you find out he's married. He married somebody else, and you're like, "Well, what the hell?"
Yeah, and she's blaming that guy. You know,
Hmm.
she's literally blaming the guy because she sat around. The thing, and you know, I'm gonna say this real quick. She will go back, say eight. I wait. I'm just using 8 years. She would say, "I waste 8 years with this person.
Hmm.
He's terrible. He's horrible because
Right.
he never married me."
Hmm.
But the thing was, in that entire relationship, you you know, which like when I go back to that requirement part, you wanted to be married. You had things you offered him, and this, and that, and the other. But while you were offering him things, you, as they say, the analogy was you showed the price of everything, but you didn't show your value. You know, so
Right.
all he seen was
Right.
the price of what you was, you know, basically what it was,
Right.
but he didn't see the value in you, and
Hmm.
you never showed it to him. You know,
Right.
so
I mean, but like I said, yeah, I think it you know, I can understand being hurtful, and I've heard women ask that question before. Why, you know, you wait so long and then all of a sudden you end up married someone else. It's a it's a tough one.
yeah,
I don't know if I have the answers, but hey,
yeah.
you
Well, at least
know,
you didn't beat me up on this one like last time, and
I honestly
me and the
don't.
rest of those guys beat me up on that for saying the exact same thing I just said
But
verbatim.
this is a new day, a different podcast, and you know, so hey. But yeah, but that's gonna wrap up our time today. We hope you enjoyed the podcast. Again, if you got any questions, ladies, gentlemen, if you feel free to hit us up, 2menwithmics@gmail.com. You can text me, you can call me, you can WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, whatever, and we'll get it on the air. Also, if you've got a black owned business, any business for that matter, we want to hear from you. We want to get the word out and showcase your business on the podcast. So, did you want to drop? I know we do it at the end every night. There, CJ, did you have your social media you wanted to put out there, or?
CJ, I think I learned it. I think it's CJ Johnson I was about to say Hotmail. CJ Johnson at Facebook, and then CJ2U probably at Snapchat. I use Snapchat. And I know people don't use it, but I'm on Snapchat all the time because I be doing damage on my Snapchat.
Right.
That can't be saved. So I think it's CJ2U. I'm not positive.
Right. Well, everybody knows the Bob Biv DeVoe on Twitter and Instagram. I'm trying to get more into it, so hit me up, and then of course B Joseph Williams on Facebook. So that's probably one of our viewers calling right now.
Yeah, they just hit me up right. Yeah, they called me, and I don't know how
to. Let them know whatever it is. We'll get it on the air next week. But until then, you guys have a lovely evening, and we'll catch you next week. Take care.
I can't even say Happy Hispanic Heritage Month.
That's right. What CJ said.
Yeah, later.
Later.